Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is doing well today. It's a nice morning this morning. Luna and I had a good walk. I got a cup of coffee here to start the day. Hope you have a nice beverage as well. Enjoy your mornings. And good morning to you. So, first, I've had something funny in my mind changed a little bit. My was listening to a news show this morning. I often listen to a newscast as I'm walking Luna around, and they when they did the little beginning, well, this is what we're going to cover. They mentioned and John Cleese of Monty Python troupe. I was like, oh no, did he die? He's getting pretty old. Like, no, he's got an interview. Oh, okay, phew. Okay. So Monty Python was definitely a big factor with me when I was young. I still enjoy them now. I'm just saying, really enjoyed them when they came out. Um, the other, but what he mentioned is interesting to me. So there's him and there's another gentleman who I both of them I respect quite a bit. Um, but they've had different focuses, and it's interesting to talk about. So let's talk about the idea of individuals versus community. Um, the U.S. has been very focused on individuals as of late. We've always had quite a few rights here in the U.S. that are a little different from most uh, countries. The countries would, sorry, Luna, I lost the ball. It went somewhere. The countries were different. They were uh, focused on the country a little bit more. So in the U.S., we had a strong structure in our Constitution and our documents for the individual and what the individual could rights could be. And this was very unusual. A lot of places, started because of authoritarian governments or because Luna bumps the tripod. So anyway, sorry about that. So John was talking about community, and the other guy was talking about individual. To him, individual rights was really, really important. He said individuals should have the right, have their rights never taken away from them. He was being extreme. I, he's mentioned in the past that you know curtailing of certain things to help others, and he was trying to say that was his focus. But he's not irrational about the fact that sometimes you have to curtail individual rights so that the community can be safe and be able to operate correctly. Uh, John Cleese had a different take. He said he thought that individual rights were starting to damage the community. He's from Britain, but he's spent a huge amount of time in the United States, so it's almost like a second home to him. He said that he felt like the communities of the U.S. were really degrading quite a bit from what he could see. The That's an interesting thing between empathy and systems. It's easy to have empathy for a person, individual. Systems are not as easy to systems are not as easy to have people grasp their importance and their goodness. That's those are generalities. That's not always true, you know. Um, yeah, there's keeping young keeping children safe is definitely a system, and we all can empathize with that. Uh, Taking care of our national parks is a system, and we can empathize with that. So I'm not saying there's not cases for that, but there's a lot of more difficulty in the other way around. And Luna thinks I should throw a ball, so let me get up and throw a ball if I can. I can't find it. So, so have some empathy for me. I can't find Luna's ball. She'll drop it and it'll roll under the furniture, and then she's like, "Aha! I dropped it, so you should have it, right?" And I understand what John is saying as well. We have attacked individuals because they have made comments. Yeah. We have made comments about individuals. We've got upset about it, and communities have gotten damaged a little bit. One of my stories here in Texas, I'm originally from Tennessee, so I'm not a native Texan. My wife is a native Texan. She was born here in Texas. So were all of our kids. I'm the only uh, transplant, but I've been here for quite some time. So when I moved to Texas, yeah, uh, there was a lot of stuff about being in Texas, and I went to I lived in the DFW and then moved down to Austin. Took my kids to the Bob Bullock Museum here in Austin, which has a lot of Texas history. And I was walking around the museum, and there was a this fat back man and his son walking just little bit behind me. I don't know if he was from Mexico. Not, he probably was born here in the U.S., but I don't know where his family roots are from, whether it was somewhere else in Central America or Cuba or whatever. I have no clue. But I knew he was very apparently Hispanic, and so was, and his son had was as well. So I'm walking around, and we got to the section of the history museum that was showing um, the Battle of the Alamo and Texas independence, and I could. It was a quiet museum, so I could hear him say things occasionally. And he got to his one area, and he's pointing some stuff out to his son, and he then said, "This is where we kicked those Mexicans out of Texas." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're all Texans. We're a community of Texans. It doesn't matter if you're from, doesn't matter where you're from. When you come to Texas, and once you've been here long enough, long enough is a general term. Some people become Texans pretty quickly, and some people it takes them a while. But after a while, you start to understand that Texas is a place in itself. We don't have East Texas, West Texas, Central Texas. I mean, we do, but the truth is, we're all Texans. I love that about the place. I love it's a community. And I was thinking about it. At first, I kind of was listening to the other guy, and he was talking about individual things, and I was like, "Yeah, individual rights is important. Freedom of speech and being able to do certain things." And I think he was referring to gay marriage, which I think I kind of get annoyed by the fact that we have made government so pervasive in personal decisions. So yeah, individual rights. I'm all for it. But I really like being a Texan. I'm really happy my kids are Texans. I'm born in Texas. And I don't know where you're from, but I want you to know community is important. You may not agree with your community. I do not agree with many Texans I've come across. That's okay. It's okay to have disagreements. And that's what we've talked before. A lot of the times, hearing those disagreements, hearing those things, has helped us that how to improve things, how to improve the systems. It's not here, Luna. Her ball went that way. I'm not going to go try and chase it. But we develop and build things over time. So I'm going to let you go. I want you to think about your community. What communities are you part of? Part of a church? Part of a state? Part of a city? Maybe it's just a big family. There are many different kinds of communities, and we need to enjoy them. Find your enjoyment in your community. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day. Another sip of coffee there, and I'm going to help Luna find her ball. Take care.